Alright guys, so today I'd like to show you some apps that I use at home to level up my training. These apps you can use during your home training during your quarantine, so I hope it helps. Alright, so let's start. So I'm gonna start with the first two. The first two, I'm trying to go through it really quick because everyone knows about Zoom now. This app, Zoom app, it helps you basically do like an online meeting with people, and then that way you can do like online classes. So I'm pretty sure everyone uses this app now by now. So if you haven't, then take a look at it. It's really awesome. You can just do group sessions through your iPhone or your tablet or your computer or anything. So that's that. Sleepmeister, it's an app that I use to kind of track my sleep. And what's important to why is it important to track your sleep is to see how well you're recovering. So I base on I base my training next day on how much I slept the day before. So monitoring your sleep is actually a really important thing in my opinion. So if you haven't gotten a good night's sleep, then I recommend you to rest up that day. Don't push yourself so hard, right? Like, because what's the whole point of training at like 100, 200% when you haven't recovered? Like your training's not gonna be top quality, right? So in my opinion, don't go as much. Don't go crazy when you haven't recovered so much. Unless you have to, like I'm not telling you to not train, but there's times where you can't sleep. But again, if you have time, like right now, recover as much as you can before you train the next day, right? So monitoring your sleep is one of the good ways. All right, here we go. The last two apps that I use a lot actually. So first app that I use is Muscles 3D. Muscles 3D, it's a app that I use to kind of see what muscles are inside my body. So it's really cool. You can split your it splits the muscles into like categories like your arm, your face, your body, your foot. And then what's cool is you can kind of be interactive with it and kind of move the body around and kind of see which muscles there are. It's really important to kind of to know about which part of the body that you're moving when you do your kata, right? So the muscle here, serratus anterior, this is called the punching muscle. And this is cool because it shows all the descriptions. It goes to like the first and eighth rib. So these are called the punching muscles. It's basically what you use when you punch, right? So people think, oh, I gotta work my pectoralis major, your pec major, but pec major is not the only muscle that does arm extension to the front, right? So you got to really understand what muscles you're using, especially like the back muscles, lats, your traps, your infraspinatus, all those muscles inside that kind of move the back part of your body. People kind of neglect that. People work all the muscles in the front, like your six packs, your obliques, all those stuff. But what's good is all the muscles in the back in karate, right? So it's really cool to learn about that. There's muscles in your leg, obviously, that are really cool. And then the thing about this app is you can kind of go into your muscles, basically. So let's say, okay, so the glute max, like you see the glute max here. You want to see the muscles underneath your glute max because there's layers, right? There's layers of muscles in your body. So okay, I wanna look inside the inside or like underneath the glute max. So you can go here, kind of click on the glute max, and then it kind of gets rid of that glute max, right? So now you're underneath the glute max. You can see the muscles inside there, and there's the glute med. Now this muscle is really important because it lifts your leg up to the side. That's like for your mawashigiri, your shikorachis, right? All those movement this muscle does in your body, right? Piriformis, all these small muscles are actually inside of your body, right? And these muscles are the ones that are important for like balance. So people say like, oh, what are your balance muscles? I think it's all these small muscles that are inside your leg and all these muscles that support your ankle, like extensor digitorum, tibialis anterior, gastrocnemius, like all these small muscles inside your feet. Like you can kind of take a look at them. There's flexor digitorum brevis, there's adductor hallucis, like all these muscles you can see from this app. So I recommend this one. All right, so that one's more like studying, right? So you have more time now. You can kind of study your muscles on your meantime because obviously you don't get as quality of a training now. It's a good time to start studying. So I think it's really important as a karateka to kind of know what muscles are inside of your body because you can't just like expect to train when you don't know what's moving inside of you. So it's really important to know the actions of your muscles, where it inserts, and I'm kind of going into like PT stuff because I study PT, but in order to train efficiently, I think you got to train the muscles efficiently also. So you got to be smart up here. So you gotta be studying all your muscles. All right, last one is the Timer Plus app. This one is really cool because it basically does internal. You can basically make your own interval timer on your phone, and it goes to the side like this, and then it goes like that, and then it's really cool because I hate using the phone during training because I have to fiddle around with all the stopwatch and all that stuff. But this app, you can just press it once and it does everything for you. So you can go here, you can set how much time you prepare. You're basically your countdown, right? How much you're working. So let's say you're doing 10 push-up or you're doing workouts for 10 seconds. You can set your workout time. You can set your rest time. You can set how many rounds. You can set how many cycles you do. Rest between the cycles, right? And what's cool about this app is you can make your own timer, right? So let's say I'm gonna do a kata workout, right? So I do it sometimes. So this is one of the ways I do it. So let's say it takes me 10 seconds to get ready. So there you go, 10 seconds. Boom, done. All right, next, work. It's how long your katas are. My katas are usually 2.5, 3.5 minutes long, depending on what kata. So let's say I'm just doing it for 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes. So that's how long my katas are. My rest, how long am I resting in between my katas? So I can rest maybe 1 minute. 1 minute rest. I'm kind of pushing myself. If I don't want to rest that much, I can set it to 30. I can set it to 10. It depends on how much you want to push yourself. Usually, I kind of rest between 1 and 30. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. How many rounds? So let's say I'm simulating a whole day of tournament, right? Maybe I do 5 rounds of kata. Boom. You can set how many rounds, how many cycles, how many times do I want to do this. So you can set, all the way up to whatever. I don't do 10 cycles. Maybe like 3. That's like 15 katas, right? So there you go. Boom. And then the rest between cycles, recovery time between each set. So maybe I can do that for like 5. I can rest for 5 minutes in between each set. So I do 5 kata. Basically, what this is saying is I prepare for 10 seconds in the beginning. I do a kata. I rest for 1 minute. And then I do that for 5 rounds. So kata, rest 1 minute. Kata, rest 1 minute. Kata, for 5 katas, I do this 3 times, but in between each set, I rest 5 minutes. So that's what I do, right? And then, so you basically set that, press start, and then it just does it for you. And one other cool thing about this app is you can save your timer. Right, so let's say I make that whole thing again, sorry. So I prepare for 10 seconds. I work for 3 minutes. My kata is about 3 minutes. My rest is 1 minute. Boom, 1 minute. I do 5 rounds of that, 5 kata rounds, and then I do 3 cycles, right? And then the rest between cycles is the last time I did 5 minutes, right? So boom. I go here, I can name this, so I can do kata and then add it, right? So I added that timer, so you can select your timer. So there's my karate timer, my kata timer. So my kata timer is set now. So when I go here, boom, I have it right here, and then you just start, right? And then another cool thing is you have a stopwatch. Prepare. Just start. Right, and then you just finish, all those stuff. It's really cool. You can kind of play around with it. As you get used to it, it'll be super easy. And then it just does all the timing for you. So even if you don't have an instructor or a coach that does all the timing for you, this app does it for you. So Yeah, this app really helps me with like when I'm training at home by myself. If I want to get some workout in, I use this app for timing. Yep, so that's pretty much it. These are the four apps that I use right now to kind of work with my training. The I use the Muscles 3D the most, I think, because I kind of like it's kind of weird. I like to look at muscles on my free time when I'm like on the train or whatever. I just kind of go around looking at muscles and see what it does and why it's named that. You know, like I like to kind of learn about them. So I encourage you to do the same. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope this helps. I hope everyone's training hard. Don't give up. Everyone knows that 2020 Olympics has been delayed for a year, at least a year. So it's a really hard time for everyone, but you know, can't complain about it. There's people that are having a harder time, you know, right? So yeah, all we can do is just train hard right now. So yep, I encourage you to do the same. All right, so I'll see you guys on the next video. See you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.